Incremental Readings. I'm going to share a curated list of the best key bindings, keyboard shortcuts you can use in Supermemo, the ones that will get most use of. I will release a series of videos specific to incremental reading, specific for navigating, editing text, and this one that is general. So in Supermemo was built 3 decades ago and has been updated at some degree, but the architecture is very old school. So something you need to be aware of is that some key bindings, for whatever reason, only apply to the active window. For instance, you see now here says concept root, that's the element window. So if I click, now the color has changed. Now this means this window is active. Some key bindings only work if this window is active, it's focused. It may happen that if it's, let's say, this one, the contents window, it may also trigger the key binding, but with a different feature. The behavior is different. And some other key bindings are global. That means that even if you don't have any focus in any window, will work regardless, and it may focus on a specific window as a result. Don't ask me why. It's built like this. So then, let's go straight to the most useful key bindings. What may happen in the very beginning of your experience is that you open something. For instance, to open something, let's say I want to open health in the browser. Control space. This will open everything underneath the hierarchy. Nice. That's called the element window, which also has some key bindings. But wait a second, what happened with my layout? That's very typical at the beginning because I haven't customized a browser layout. You can quickly fix this. You just press F5. That's a key binding that you don't need any window to be focused. And this applies what's called the warrior layout. It's the same as going window, layout, and apply warrior layout. But hey, you can apply your own default layout if you add the control modifier, Control F5. And in this case, it's the same I had before. It's my own default. Cool. Another key binding, Control W. This opens a workload calendar, and it's semantic. The W stands for workload. And I can see the repetition schedule for today, and if I click, I go to the browser. Let's say that, okay, I want this, but I want to filter. Yes, I can do a lot of child sources, memorize, Hey, but there's filter with F8. Just press F8 and you have all of these. Keep in mind, I'm doing all of the remaining shortcuts that are useful, that are not in the standalone focused videos. Another thing that is with the Supermemo is that, wait a second, you have a key binding for mercy. You should use this the least as possible, if ever, once a year, and that's it. So why an action that is so frequently used has a key binding, and other features doesn't have any key binding at all? And by keyword, the only way you can get to those is by the commander. If you press Control Enter, this opens a Supermemo commander, which some features have their own key binding, like done. I Control Shift Enter, not the focus of this video, and some example like split. It's the only way to access a split using the keyword. There are more, but I'm pretty sure that most of the time, if I have to choose one, it will be the split. You will want to use the commander. That is the most useful one. Another key binding that is useful, F12. Even if you don't lock your sleep like I no longer do myself, it's a way that you can see the usage of the collection and for how long you have used Supermemo every day. Another limitation is that all of the key bindings are rigid. They cannot be changed, customized. In case you want, you will need to use a third-party tool like AutoHotkey. Just a reminder, sometimes you have the key binding shown, sometimes you don't, even if there's such a key binding, and sometimes the key binding displayed is actually wrong. For instance, you see open contents menu, Alt F10. Oh yeah, what is happening? It opens the menu, yes, but from a different window. That is the element window. But I want to press it on the focus window. That now the focus window is this one. It cannot be even on top of that. Okay, let's try with this window. The browser window. It's the same. Context menu, Alt F10. It doesn't work. So even if it says Alt F10, it's actually Shift. Shift F10. This opens the menu. It's Supermemo. At least once you get used to this, you reduce the friction. It will make sense that, oh yeah, in Supermemo it's like this for some reason. But I don't have to think, oh, why is this, and so on. And one final tip, is that sometimes once you get a window that it doesn't click, you have the sound cling, cling, that I don't see any window, is the solution. Most of the time, the solution is just escape. You press escape twice. For instance, you can have a window. You press escape, and it goes away. You may have a dialog like this. Do you want to change the concept group affiliation in all browser elements? No, I don't wanna. Escape. Hey, for whatever reason, in some dialogs, this doesn't work. And I don't know why. But most, like 95% of the time, it will work. Like this. Resume sublearning, press escape, and that's it. If you want more, you can watch the other videos. The best key bindings for processing text, the basic incremental reading flow, and some more. For now, that's all for today, and see you incrementally.